It's the Army of Snarkness show again at midnight on Friday. Where are you? I don't care. I'm here in Lexington, Fayette, Kentucky, live, like we do. Follow me at _Swan_man on Twitter. Like the Facebook page at Army of Snarkness. Like us on Twitter at Army of Snarkness. With me, as always, is my wonderful wife, Kayla at Swan's Princess. Nothing else on Twitter? Tommy isn't on shit, and we have a guest tonight. Right?
Yeah. We have a guest this evening, one of Lexington's finest actors. Been around for a long time. If you live in Lexington, go to theater, you know him, you love him. It's our own Tom Phillips.
Hi, Tommy. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. I'm doing great. This is my very first podcast.
Oh, shit.
Let us cast the pod.
Well, Tom, tell us, if one were about theater in Lexington and knew your work, what work would they know you from? Give us your favorite highlights.
My favorite highlights would be the love song of J. Robert Oppenheimer with Actors Guild of Lexington, Fahrenheit 451 at Balagula Theater. Oh, God, quite a few, actually. Just there's been a few things here and there. Pride and Prejudice a couple summers ago at the Arboretum, Summerfest.
Billy saw you in...
I saw you in Glengarry Glen Ross. Was that this year, last year? That was last year. Yeah. Well, he's rocking the goatee then. We love Glengarry Glen Ross. This is the first little segment that we all get settled in and just hang out a bit, shoot the shit. Interview proper for your ass. You said you wanted to pod the cast? We'll cast the pod out of it. What the fuck? Sounds right. But now we're just, shooting the breeze. This is also, this is part of the hashtag 24-hour podcast for Sandy. Click that hashtag. This is all a part of a 24-hour thing going on between the internet and podcasters on Twitter, united to benefit in some way, raise awareness with the Red Cross and all that good stuff to our peeps up in the Northeast there. Long Island, New Jersey, all that good stuff, because their people still need help. And this podcast, the 24-hour podcast for Sandy, we are a part of it now. It's going on right now in a variety of things. I'm sure the last thing they want to hear is us, but fuck them. No, we're raising awareness, man. We mean it. Because we love our friends up there. We love them in the Northeast. We're in the Southeast, but that wasn't by choice. But hey, we're making the best of it. And so there's that. Got some other shout-outs on Twitter real fast. The hashtag Death Squad, an international group of independent podcasters from the UK, is what I'm getting out of that. They seem to dig us enough. And we got the Chonilla podcast, chocolate and vanilla equals Chonilla.
Oh, nice.
I think that's West Coast. And John Needs Help. You can look up all of these on iTunes. Chonilla, John Needs Help, and of course, the Old Enough to Know Better podcast. Eden Pinketh, who's may or may not be listening right now on his way to work, because it's like what over there? It's midnight here, so it's like 5 a.m. That poor fuck. I don't even know what he does for a living, but he has enough free time. He has guests. We are on iTunes, and he just ran into us through the magic of Twitter. We're using Twitter for all we can use it for, and we're squeezing that orange, man.
I'm gonna be listening to all of you fellow sister podcast stations. I'm gonna be listening to all of you guys at work now because I need things to do in between phone calls at the call center I work at. So, thank you. You're gonna be providing me much needed entertainment.
Hashtag Death Squad. Old Enough to Know Better. You can follow Eden and look into his cabal at Monkey Magic Eden on Twitter. So you can look into that. It's like us, but they're British, so they sound classier when they're doing it. But because we fucking, I don't know what we sound like sometimes.
Look, no, I can tell you from experience, the British aren't any classier when they say fuck.
I will not venture an impression out of respect. And we're doing this for charity, sort of. It's awareness. Donate some blood. Give some canned goods. Give up an old blanket. Do something good for the Northeast, man.
Actually, donate blood, but what every exactly. What every goodwill group out there wants from you when rebuilding from places, from events like this, is they need your money. Your canned goods are great, but one of the funnier stories I heard from people working in Hurricane Katrina were like, it was great. People kept showing up with goods, but they kept bringing us like blankets and clothes. And I don't know if y'all noticed, it's hot down here, and we didn't need blankets. We needed money. So yeah, give cash. cold hard cash. It makes a lovely bed later.
Some little thing happened in America because it was so funny when we were reaching out. I was doing my outreach. The Army was reaching out to the Death Squad. And within this outreach, there was a lot of fun stuff with Thanksgiving. Like, we fucking love it here. Going crazy. Everybody, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and we'll give up our Thanksgiving memories in a second. But it was so funny to hear how they were just like, I don't know what they're going on about. They're like, there's some day over in the States, I don't know what the fuck they're freaking out about. I think they gorge themselves on food and then they're going to go fucking shop for shit, which isn't far from the truth.
That's all right. We equally don't understand Boxing Day. We all see it on our calendars because of, Canada. And everyone just thinks that apparently everybody in England and Canada just, sets up some rings, gets out some gloves, and goes to town after Christmas.
Bad knuckle boxing.
That's not what it is. I know, I've since learned what Boxing Day is, but no one knows what that is either, so it's cool.
Made many a pence on the bare knuckle streets. Wade Barrett, the Barrett Barrage, all that shit. Charlie fucking Bronson, the other one, not the actor. Charlie fucking Bronson, not Charles Bronson.
Keep doing that, we're gonna lose all of our friends overseas.
Hey,
keep doing that accent.
They like Ridley Scott way too much, or they don't. They were just like, man, he fell off. I was like, no, yeah, but I could told you that after the 6th version of Blade Runner, dude. Too many. Thanksgiving happened. The wife cooked. We, had our first down home.
Thanksgiving dinner I ever cooked. Awesome.
Yeah, and it was the first, not grown up, because that didn't right. That just doesn't seem right. It was the first civil. No, not when I'm involved. Domesticated, yeah. I was peeing in places where I should have, and it was really nice because we had never done that. It was always someone else's burden, because that's what it is. Someone else did it, and this year was the first time that we did it. And a little small family, we got together, and it was just me and her, and I think her grandmother, later my mom, but it was cool in the fact that it was so small yet so perfect. It had, you had the turkey and the stuffing and the mashed potatoes and all that good shit. Wasn't very expensive, frozen turkey, and then we watched the parade, and I watched the Cowboys lose like a motherfucker. It was fantastic for considering the thing, you don't know you can do it until you do it. I learned that in Christmas last year. It was that bad, huh? They can't hear you.
Sitting in the kitchen at 7, crying my eyes out. I don't know how to cook a turkey.
Read the bag.
It's like, take it out of the freezer, put it in the oven, add salt and pepper. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. How long do I cook it for? And then I just start crying again because I feel so bad. I have to make gravy, and I have to make mashed potatoes, and I have to cook rolls, and I just wasn't feeling it. But I did it, and I was half asleep when I was doing it, so.
But was it delicious?
It was the bomb.
Then it's all worth it.
It was fucking great. And that was our experience. I got way too piss-hammered because the Cowboys lost again, and that shit was nonsense. And so there I am getting shit-faced, basically, on fucking domestic American beer. Like you do. Like I do. Like I'm doing. And I went to plaid. I tweeted that. We're at the Swan Man went to plaid. What does that mean? I found that my Roddy Piper impression at the time was impeccable. I was just astounded. And I tweet that, and then I get retweeted by the Hot Rod and John Fugelsang about the hair thing that I made, where I tried to replicate his hair, and it's impossible. You cannot replicate it. It is its own life force. John Fugelsang's hair. And I got retweeted by both of these guys of opposite ends, yeah.
Pardon me while I betray my ignorance. Who's Fugelsang?
John Fugelsang? I think he was on Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. He's been on ABC. He's like not Nathan Fillion. He's like skinny Nathan Fillion, awesome. Shorter Nathan Fillion, more politically active Nathan Fillion, that Canuck. But John Fugelsang, he follow him on Twitter and all that good stuff. Check out his YouTube channel, because you can instruct some fools. Then we don't like to get political because it makes a brouhaha in the States. If anybody has anything to say elsewhere about that, because I know it's definitely a different conversation once you cross the pond. But around here, things get fucking real if you start to voice an opinion, like a shred of one, and oh fuck. Like, I love hate mail. I'd love any kind of email that you guys would shoot us at armsnark@gmail. But yeah, that was my thing, and I got retweeted by the Hot Rod and John Fugelsang, two men that I would admire. Oh hell yeah, especially the Hot Rod one. I mean, John Fugelsang's great, yeah, but Roddy Piper's immortal.
Yeah.
I got the vapors. So that was the Swan, yeah. Yeah.
Did you get all faint and have to sit down on your fainting couch when you got the vapors from getting retweeted by the hot rod?
I was a mite tingly.
Oh, nice.
I might tingly. That was just a win, man. Mike Twingley is on Twitter. So that was the Swan, man. You don't follow Tom at anything because he's not followable. He covers his tracks. But how was Dave? Well, Dave ain't here, baby. He's probably listening right now. What? No, dude. And later on in the conversation, I know he's gonna be like texting us and shit, like, dude, ask this and that. Like, fuck, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Dave. We have no answers for you. None for you. But that was the Swan Man and stuff. So we're gonna puff pass here. We're gonna go to Tommy Gatton. Tommy.
I had a delightful Thanksgiving. I had to double team it. I hit two Thanksgiving dinners in the same day.
I had to do a little spit roasting.
Yeah.
And then I went to 2 dinners.
Precisely. Then I deep fried my turkey and I exploded grease everywhere and everybody had to go to the hospital. No, I had to hit the double dinner thing, but the problem was the double dinners were too close together. So, by 7 o'clock, Tommy was oh man, I was 2 Thanksgiving dinners balled up in a garbage disposal into a meat brick.
The word is beached.
That was my tummy. My tummy was a meat brick. And then I went drinking because that's what we do. I went drinking for a friend of ours who was leaving town soon, and another friend of ours turned 21 at the same time, which was pretty fantastic.
We don't divulge names, though.
I'm not.
We're not gonna. Okay.
Yeah. But
21st birthday mystery.
one of the people I was out getting shit hammered with was one Tom Phillips, who's here now.
Hey, you said my name.
And yeah, he and I were up until like 4 a.m. drinking, and he was telling me crazy stuff. I was like, "You have to get on the podcast, Tom, because that's awesome." So, yeah, that was my Thanksgiving.
Tom got Tom on the podcast.
Yeah, my stomach was a meat brick, and then I got hammered. Oh, and I have advice for all of you eaters and drinkers out there. If you go get too full of food and then you want to drink, obviously avoid the beers, but I recommend starting your evening with an Irish coffee because that's just the best. You get the alcohol, you get the caffeine, and it just, it paves the way. It paves the way. Your toilet will be very mad at you tomorrow, but otherwise, it's just a delight. Oh, and before I pass this along, one little caveat for all of you out there. You will occasionally hear weird clicking sounds and snapping sounds and me hushedly whispering, "Get the fuck away, fuck off." That's because we are podcasting from my house, and I have a very large, very sweet dog who wants to shove his giant face in everything, and so that's just me shooing him away. So pay no attention to the silent, creeping terror that dwells here. So
I have the mic. What am I supposed to do here? My Thanksgiving. This is what I did for Thanksgiving dinner. I had leftover Chinese takeout from the day before. My family lives in Chicago. My roommate's family lives in Florida, so we didn't really do Thanksgiving. But I had food, so I did that. And then the funny thing was, around 8 or 9 o'clock, I got hungry again, and nothing is open except for gas stations. So I had gas station food. But
you're an idiot. We would have totally gotten you. We would have totally brought you back leftovers.
Yeah, I know.
2 Thanksgiving dinners.
But I know exactly, really.
One of them was a buffet.
You had 2 dinners, and I had nothing.
I went to a family Thanksgiving buffet. I totally could have